We went to the UMC Hospital legally. We were given permission. We were asked to go in. In no way, shape, or form did we jump the fence. Did we do anything, cut bars or anything to get through. We were given permission. We were given the open opportunity to go there. Hi, my witchies. Welcome to the WitchDarkTales podcast live. I am your host, Megan, and on tonight we will be on TikTok asking people about their haunted and scary stories. Now, before we get into this TikTok live podcast, I do have to mention views discretion is advised. Everything we talk about is just pure speculation. And also, these are just scary stories or haunted things that we were told and will be told. But with that being said, audio listeners and views discretion is advised. And you have to be 18 years and over. But with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. And let's get straight into this TikTok live. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan, and I wanted to hear some scary stories. So if you have any scary stories or you know any urban legends, haunted places that you've been or heard of, why not join this TikTok live and tell us? Now, and when we go to these haunted places, we always prepare ourselves before we get there. So we went to Modesto. We booked a hotel. And before we went, we did like rituals. Now, these rituals are just my preference. And when we basically, when we're taking a shower, this is like a quick ritual. You jump in the shower. I usually talk to the water coming out of these water fountain. Oh, what's it called? The shower head. And I'm like blessing myself. I'm imagining a white light around me. And I tell myself, like, I'm going to be okay. Like, this is just an experience. You're going to be okay. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'm not worried about being attacked. What I am worried about is being followed. I do not want any spirits to come along with me back home. And that's what I do. Now, obviously, some people carry holy water. Again, we're not going to talk about religion here because everybody believes in different ways of doing things. People pray before they go to these places, right? Again, that's your preference. Other people do spells, rituals, and to protect themselves. Now, for me, what I've learned through a lot of ghost hunters, the easiest way for you to like not have a spirit follow you is like you're stomping on the ground, to dust everything off of you. I've heard a lot of them take off their clothes or change outside before they go inside the house. I've been told to, before you go home, you never say you're going home. You have to make several stops. After visiting haunted places, you make several stops before you go home. When you're about to go home, you don't even say you're going home. You just go home. So if you're getting dropped off by other people, that's perfectly fine. But you never say you're going home. Because when a spirit hears the word home, it causes a spiritual reaction let's say, in their word would be like a portal. So they're able to be like, okay, I'm going to follow this person to their house. And then the spirit will go inside the house and they're looking around for a portal. People think portals are like doors that opens and magical. No, these portals are more of a hole, as in a space that has its own energy where they're able to open it on its own and go in, Back to that, that's how I do these rituals before I go to any haunted places. We just posted about McHenry Mansion. We did that ritual. I'm not from Modesto, California, so I've never heard about that place being haunted, but we've done research. We've heard other places as well. And so I like to post videos saying, hey, I'm going to Modesto. Can you tell me anything about these haunted places? People will leave comments saying they've seen spirits looking out the window at McHenry Mansion. Others claim when they're driving by, they can see somebody waving at them. People also claim to see shadow figures. In the clip that I just posted, I heard like a fall or a click. And then I just remember the light shut off, right? There was a similar story to that. A person who was going to the McHenry Mansion did a tour. And when they did a tour, after they left that doll room, they walked out, they heard something fall. And when they went back, the doll was on the floor. Others claimed that it was the spirit of the owner of the McHenry Mansion. Now, again, people do have these experiences, which I'm not going to discredit them. Hi, Kimmy. I'm not going to discredit them about these haunted places. Everyone have their own opinion. Everyone has their own experiences. But just because I've had my own experiences does not mean I'm going to expect you to believe me. We all go through things different ways. There are people who've been attacked by these spirits. There are people who have been chased by spirits. There are people who've sensed or seen spirits at the bottom. What is it called? The bed, at the end of the bed. And everybody has their own paranormal experiences. So it opens a door that creates this paranormal where you're just like, damn, I went through this. So have people went through these experiences? And so that's why I started this WitchDarkTales podcast. I wonder if other people have been in this situation. When I tell people about my haunted experience, there are people who believe it because they've been through it, but there are others who are just like, you sound crazy right now. And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. What's your favorite piece of investigation equipment? I don't have any investigation equipment. I'm more of a paranormal podcaster. I talk about these haunted places. I hear about these haunted places and we go there to see if we felt anything, experience anything, but I am not a ghost hunter. I love that for people who is and are ghost hunters. They really have the, werewolves, like they have the, what, and really is down to do this. As soon as I go to these haunted places, I record my video. I'll be like, if you're from Fresno, listen to this. Da 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 da. After I'm done with that video, dude, we dip. We don't stay there to have these equipment and go, oh, ghosts, oh, fantasmo, a ver. No, we dip after that because we are not looking for spirits, but we do want to see these experiences that people have mentioned, right? Now, related to the topic, a lot of people always ask me, how did you get to the UMC Hospital? I'm not allowed to tell you guys like who, but I can only honestly say someone reached out to me on Facebook. They found me on Facebook. I was like, hey, I seen your videos and you talked about these haunted places in Fresno. I would love for you to come to the UMC to investigate. And so, the first thing in my mind, this is a scam. If anybody ever hits you up and say certain things and it just sounds suspicious, you're going to think it's a scam, correct? Now, I went to check their profile. I'm like, oh, this is legit. Like, this is a real profile. They have their own like familia and, they post their life and their family and stuff and they post themselves in the UMC. So I said, hi, I would love to speak with you on the phone. If this is legit, please call me. They called me and we were on the phone for like almost an hour. We were just talking about certain things. And then he told me his experience, right? Now he said, just to let you know, you can only bring 3 people, including yourself will be 3. Of course, in my mind, I said my best friend Miguel, my friend Sophia, and myself. It was us 3. He said he can only have 3 people. And so in my mind, I'm like, damn, is something bad going to happen? Because this feels weird and awkward. So he was like, meet us exactly at 10 p.m. at the U.M.C Hospital. But we drove around the U.M.C first because we want to make sure, nothing was wrong. We saw nobody. And I'm like, dude, this feels weird. This feels weird. And you always trust your instinct. But my instinct was, for the first time, my instinct was wrong, but in a good way. We parked the car. We walked to the gate. There was like an entrance of the gate. And I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. So I called the phone to make sure that was them. And the phone started ringing. I said, okay, that's the person. So we walked up to them. I was like, hi. And they're like, yeah, we know who you are. Don't worry. This is nothing bad's going to happen. You're going to be okay. They were nice to us. Now, I do have to say this. We went to the U.M.C Hospital legally. We were given permission. We were asked to go in. In no way, shape, or form did we jump the fence. Did we do anything, cut bars or anything to get through? We were given permission. We were given the open opportunity to go there. And I just had to state that because a lot of people think like we like jumped in and blah, blah, blah. We do not do anything that's illegal. We do everything that's legal because we want to make sure we are all safe for ourselves and those that was there. Now back to that. Like they pulled into the gate and they went around. There's an RV right there, but they were in the back. And we walked it. I walked it over there. And then Everybody got out of the car. Dude, they were rolled deep. They were all dressed in black. They all had masks. They wore these ski thing that went around them, and they just all looked covered up like agents, but they weren't. They gave us masks, excuse me. They gave us a mask. They gave us glow in the dark flashlight, and you can record, but make sure we're not in there. And if we are, blur us out. And I said, okay. And then they opened the door. One person opened the door, and we all walked in. The first thing I saw when they opened the door was dark hallway, this ambulance red light just spinning circles. And we walked in, and they said, if you get lost, follow the red light. Those are exits. We finished half of the UMC hospital. We never got to go to the operation room. We never had to go to the other. We were supposed to do part 2, but it never happened because, look, I think a ghost followed me, y'all. I broke my foot the next day. I went to work, so on and so forth. I came home, and then when I got home, I don't know what happened. My foot started going weak. When I'm just walking into my house and then my foot started feeling weird, I'm like, what's going on? Like what? Well, I never got to go back to the UMC hospital. He called me that same week. He was like, hey, are you ready to come back? And I said, I can't. I broke my foot. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, out of random, I couldn't walk, as if like something bad happened, as if I tripped and broke my ankle. I couldn't move my ankle or nothing. I had to call off of work for 2 weeks. And then he was like, okay, I'm so sorry. And get this. He told me, what is crazy, he goes, do you live in da-da-da-da? I said, how do you know where I live at? You guys have never seen my house. You guys only seen the inside of the podcast room. So how, so he's never seen my house. He goes, next to you, there's 2 couches. Behind you, there's a balcony with blinds. I'm like, okay, like how are you knowing this? He told me, to your left is your room and to your right is your living room. I said, yeah, how do you know this? The reason why you broke your foot was because a spirit had followed you and they were protecting you. And the only way for them to protect you, they had to take your energy. And that's why you cannot go back to the UMC hospital. And you know what's crazy? I just found this out. Someone I knew, I'm not going to say who, someone I knew had passed away at the UMC hospital. Before I told him, he goes, someone you knew passed away at the UMC hospital, huh? I said, dude, how do you know this? He told me that person was protecting you, and that's why that happened to you, for you not to come back. Whenever you heal, you can come back. I said, okay, thank you. And I asked him, how did you know all this information? He told me he's a shaman. He's able to speak to them. And I was shocked. Again, he didn't know my house. He didn't know where I live. How did you know my exact street, my house? How did you describe my house from detail to detail to detail without you ever being there? The only one that knows my house is my friend Miguel and my other friends. And that's about it. In no way he should have knew that. There are things that you cannot explain, whether it's supernatural or paranormal. Wait, I think that's the same thing. But anyways, there are things that you cannot explain, and it's so hard that people who don't believe you, because they never experienced it themselves. I would never, he was gifted. I would never expect anybody to believe me. And that's okay, because that's my experience that happened to me. Now, sorry for ranting. I hope that I answered you guys' question, but I'm not going to use my content to lie to you guys for y'all to follow me. I want y'all to follow me because you guys see that I'm learning how to become a podcaster. I'm sharing history of Fresno and scary stories, which includes haunted legends and scary stories. And I just hope you guys know this is like for us later on in the future. Dude, do you know about the Belmont Pacific Bridge? I just found out that it became the high-speed railroad. And that's why we talk about these places, because it's going to be forgotten. And that's so sad. If we don't understand our past, how are we able to create a future? So that urban legend of the vampire bridge is probably not even going to exist anymore. From now on, they're going to know it as the high-speed railroad bridge. And that's sad. Belmont and Weber, at the light, I don't think there's a light anymore. There's a bridge, right? As you're driving down from in Fresno, you're driving down Belmont, going towards Weber. There's a bridge that used to be there before the highway railroad track. There's the urban legend that was said there used to be vampires there. Now that there's a highway railroad track, that urban legend will not exist anymore. So 10 years from now, when I ask you guys, hey, you remember that urban legend of the vampire bridge on Belmont and Weber? People are going to look at me and be like, what are you talking about? It's a high-speed railroad train thingy. People are not going to know about that. That's so sad. That's so sad. I don't mean to keep rambling, but that is so sad. What if they, like Wolf Manor? They knocked down Wolf Manor. Now the kids in the future are not going to know about it. They're going to know it as a little dirt space of something else. We've been to Kearney Mansion and we've been inside. It's beautiful. Very beautiful. And then the tour guide showed us the vault. He says, Mr. Kearney, when he passed away, his body was left here before they cremated him at the chapel light. You hear steps, you hear like people following you, but that's about it. I just think it's the old floors that causes a creak. And so it creates this dark feeling of you being followed. The only spot that I can honestly say that scared me when I was in that house would be the bathroom. It's the original tub that was there. Something about that tub made me feel uneasy. I didn't see nothing, but as a human being, as a person who really pay attention to their emotions, I really felt weird around that tub. But I didn't see nothing besides feeling weird, because I'm normal. I'm not like a psychic or anything like that. But the tub gave me this weird feeling. I did not want to be inside that bathroom. And the footsteps as if people are following me. But other than that, I didn't see nothing. Like, I didn't see no phantasmo. I didn't see Mr. Kearney walking around. Maybe he knows that I'm a Fresno podcaster, so, you know. The urban legend of Kearney Boulevard Drive, there was a related topic, even to the one in Texas. People they would drive down the road with the lights off. And before they drive down that road, they would put baby powder on the back bumper and place a teddy bear there. And as they're driving down Kearney Boulevard Drive with the lights off, which we do not promote, they would drive down Kearney Boulevard Drive and turn off the light. When you stop somewhere, you will turn the light back on and go check your trunk. People stated that they've seen handprints of like kids trying to grab the teddy bear. So my explanation for that, we put the teddy bear in the trunk with a rope, right? We pull the trunk down and close it so the doll can stay still. And when we're driving in the dark, the dirt from the road probably blew onto the baby powder and, blew it away, whatever. And then that was probably our handprint that left on the trunk. So thought it was the spirit, but you never know. You just, when it comes to paranormal, you never know. But I don't know. But we did sense a lot of things there at Kearney Mansion. When we recorded our podcast that night, doing the reading people's scary stories, it was scary. Maybe because it was dark. Again, there might be natural things to explain this, right? So maybe it's just natural, like como dicen, the atmosphere. So it creates this dark, scary feeling, and so you get scared. You get spooked out.
Hi, my name is Annie. I live in Sacramento. Was born in Napa Valley. I moved out in Fresno, I believe was the year 2024, about to be the year 2025. It was a construction, a remodeling house because someone died there. But before that owner died there, someone else died inside the house. Yeah. And then while the person passed away, um it was a one bedroom house. It was supposed to be two bedroom, but it was one bedroom house. Inside that closet there was a small door. And inside that small door it has bullets for some reason. You lock it and then you open it, and it was really weird. Underneath the house, I seen there was tombstones underneath of the house. And inside the attic of that house there was a, like, you know those old witches house that
Mm-hmm.
has wooden shingles? It was rebuilt of that old shingle.
Stop.
No, I'm not lying. I'm
No,
not lying.
I believe you. Oh.
You so they left behind, it was a knife inside that attic. They left it behind and I did not know I was not supposed to be taking that away. So in that pole there was a wire connected to the house. I don't know for what. I don't know why. And I kind of cut it off, and I was not supposed to.
Uh-huh.
But I pissed off whoever spirit was behind. During those days, you can hear a stone moving or walls were moving inside the house or outside the house. Someone would be going at the middle of the night, but underneath of the house. And in the backyard they left, like, you know how people do witchcraft and they have like jars and stuff. They leave
Mm-hmm.
it behind the backyard, and I'd be the one rejuntando, picking
Mm-hmm.
it up, and they always leave it on the same spot.
How if you
All
pick it
the
up?
I don't know how, like every night that they're always at 3 o'clock in the morning, someone's always at the backyard. But it's really weird that they always leave at the same spot, and I'll be finding them, or it's like antique items, frascos, or even beers, like old beers that doesn't even exist anymore, underneath of the hole that I had to dig out, and it was really insane. And the spirits that was left behind, it was touched to my neighbors, and I always see someone staring at me behind me, even though that's not the person, but someone else's spirit, and it's really upset. And there was bad things happening, and the work wasn't really progressing in order for us to return, or in order for me to move in. And when I left, there was something that was upset, and I had
Mm-hmm.
to let go of that knife, and it was attacking me. So it was like follow me like towards 99 in order for me to go back to Sacramento. And so I don't know what I did, but I pissed off something, and and it was mad. So yeah, I seen it and I believe it. And I've been hearing a lot of stories of what happened in Fresno and everything, but I just want to share you that story a little bit, what happened in that house.
Now, um, I'm gonna start asking questions and also the comments as
Hmm.
well. So whenever you guys
Yeah,
ready,
of
drop down
course.
the comments. What if you are able to tell us? You don't have to tell us the big streets, but you said it's on
Hmm.
Clay.
East Clay Avenue.
Okay, is this in the same? Is it right next to the Tyler house? Do you know where that's
Tyler.
at?
I heard of that. I believe it's in that same area. I believe it's in that same
Yeah,
area.
because it's
I.
Tyler and then
Mhm.
Clay, or Clay and then
Mhm.
Tyler.
Yes. Yes. So. Yep. Yep. So Clay and then Tyler. Yep. You're getting there.
It's on so it should be Fresno and Olive, or Fresno and Belmont area.
All. Yep. Olive. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Uh-huh.
You got, yep. There you
Okay,
go.
okay,
There you
okay.
go.
And you said
Yep.
make a right, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
you make a right. Yeah, it's in the Tyler house, and then there you go. But I don't know how many people die in that house previously. All I know is that one person, and then maybe one or two incidents.
well, thank you, Ani, for sharing your story with us. We appreciate you so much. And it was nice meeting you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you as well.
And say bye to everybody, and you have a blessed day.
Bye. You as well,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Well, that is it, my witches and Norm. Thank you guys for joining the Witch Dark Tales podcast live here on TikTok, where I will be posting this on YouTube. Now, I will see you guys every Thursday here on TikTok. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And always remember, treat these haunted places with respect because you too one day might be haunting the place. But with that being said, bye everyone.